That's why you, Elmo Master, you have been chosen to play.
Hi, Elmo.
Well, I think there's an L out there. The word of the day on Sesame Street is for Layoffs. The non-profit group which produces Sesame Street, among other kids' programs, is laying off 1/5 of its workforce, which means eliminating about 67 of the 355 staff positions. Joining us now is Michael Davis, author of the New York Times bestseller, Street Gang, The Complete History of Sesame Street. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for asking me in. I'm pleased to do it.
Well, I'm glad you're here to talk about it. I'm kind of bummed out because Elmo's world is not immune from this recession, apparently. What happened?
Well, you know, they're being hit like everybody else is being hit. Their endowment is down, costs are up, and, you know, they had to find a way to survive this recession. And I know the CEO of Sesame Workshop pretty well, Gary Nell, and he took no joy in doing this. This was a very difficult decision.
Oh, you can about imagine. I'm thinking that a lot of what may be behind this is because there's so much merchandising in terms of the success of Sesame Street. I'm sure they get a cut of all that.
Oh, that's their
gotta be
lifeblood,
down, right?
Absolutely, it's their lifeblood. And, you know, if the toy market is depressed, it means that less revenue is coming in, and, you know, it's got to come from somewhere.
So, Michael, who's going to be cut? Do you know where it comes from in terms of the departments?
Yeah, this isn't really about talent, puppeteers, and live-action actors. It's really about production people, and some of the people are being given contracts, and they're no longer full-time employees, and, of course, they've lost their benefits and all the advantages of being a full-time employee, but some of them will have work for next year. And the 40th season of Sesame Street has already been shot. It's in the can.
Well, I was going to ask, you know, as a kid, Sesame Street was enormously popular. It was huge. Is it still the case
It's still popular, but there's so much competition now. On Nickelodeon and Discovery Kids and Disney Channel, they really face a lot of competition these days for those little eyeballs.
Yeah, I bet. Does this mean the show is going to see, are we going to see any kind of change in programming, change for this show at all because of these cuts?
I think it's not likely. As I said, the 40th season is shot, and they're so intent on creating the best children's television show of its kind that I doubt very much they'll let it slide.
Your book was a bestseller. What inspired you to write this book?
Well, earlier in my life, I was a preschool teacher, and then later I covered children's television for TV Guide. If you put those two things together, it says write a book about Sesame Street.
Well, I think it's great. I'm glad you made some money off of that. A bestseller. Congratulations to you, Michael Davis.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for your insights. Okay.
Appreciate it.
We're going to go now to a record-setting performance. There's a man in Sacramento, California, who's just set a world record for continuous drumming.